Hi, my friend Sanjay Madhav here. So, this is my little baby boo boo, adopted Chihuahua. I've had him for 5 years. He's about 8 or 10 years old now. Um, I've had adopted dogs, four or five over the last 20, 25 years. And I love all animals and I love dogs. And I rescued this dog from a secondhand shelter, which means it operates off of just volunteers and donations. There's no state funding. There usually isn't for any of these things. So it's just literally people out of the goodness of their heart, God bless them, that are doing this to try and prevent these dogs from being euthanized and give them a second chance at life. Because when I lived in Dallas, it's very common for people to do drop offs because they're moving, or it's January. They bought a puppy for their child for Christmas because they begged him and cried. Uh, by February, no one's taking care of it, no one's walking it, no one's feeding it. Okay, time to drop it off to the shelter. Um, if it's a pup, these shelters don't have resources, okay, for all of these animals, dogs, cats, and everything else that gets dropped off. In fact, in my opinion, breeding of animals should be made illegal across all states, and I believe New York has already started working on that. So that might catch on. That is an industry that should be put out of business. There are already plenty of animals out there that need good home and are being euthanized daily by the thousands in this country alone, not even across the world. So I recommend if you're looking for a pet, think about it carefully. Uh, Maybe looking into your local second chance shelter. My shelter had great dogs, puppies, everything fantastic. I couldn't have been more happier with this dog. He's out of the frame now, but he never barks. I don't even have to keep him on a leash. He never walks by my side. He's just absolute sweetheart. But the point I wanted to make is this: should be obvious, but apparently it's not. Animals, let's say dogs, are not human beings. In other words, they don't communicate, and they don't communicate the same way. So I'm really tired of people saying things like, "Man, my dog is so neurotic. He has all these tendencies, and I have to keep getting. I don't know what to do about training these bad habits." Are you aware that every pet you have is an orphan? Every pet that you have is an orphan that was taken from its mother after 3 weeks of life. This whole thing is highly unnatural for the animal kingdom and evolution of all species. It's highly unnatural. Taken from its siblings, taken from its mother, gone, given away to some other home. And in the course of that life, in that dog's life, it may even have three different owners. Think, and now tell me, your dog has neurotic tendencies. Think for a moment an orphaned human being, and I've met several of them in my lifetime. What emotional damage and scarring and baggage do you think that child trying to make it into a productive adulthood would face as challenges? Never having a family, knowing before it could remember got abandoned by its family, went through some sort of orphanage care system from the few that I've witnessed, horrific conditions. Horrific conditions. I mean, I've seen orphans that didn't even receive food in other countries. Here, I don't know. So the point of it is your pet's an orphan. So when Caesar Milan says it's not the animal that needs training, it's the human that needs training, he knows what he's talking about. You can't get mad at your dog because your dog is not doing what you say. You are remiss in training your dog in a way that it will understand what to do and why to do it, and that you want it done in a particular way. And that means having to kind of communicate with that dog in that dog's language or in a manner of communication that the dog will understand. Speaking to your dog as a human being does not accomplish this. You won't change the behavior patterns and you're just going to end up frustrated. And that's as simple as that. So if you can't see that and have that level of compassion, maybe you shouldn't own pets.